won't you be, please won't you be my neighbor? Hey neighbor. That song is actually very personal to me because I heard that song when I was 6 years old, and it's the song that made me want to become a jazz musician. I'm currently 30 years old. I've been playing the piano since I was 6 years old, and at 6 years old I first heard that song on PBS. And at 6, you don't really quite have a handle on your emotions and how you interpret how you feel. But I knew that when I heard that song, when I heard the piano, playing, I knew that this is what I want to do. So my father played piano, so I said, "Hey Dad, can you teach me how to play the piano?" "Sure, son." So we started piano lessons, which was literally one of the worst decisions you could ever make at 6 years old. Because he's my father and he's also my piano teacher. And so at 6, I would rather be outside playing with my friends, playing Tonka trucks and riding scooters. And instead of that, I was practicing scales, learning how to read music, practicing arpeggio. So I really despised my existence at that time at such a young age. But I actually grew to love it. And it instilled a huge amount of discipline in me and consistency. And so, we kind of grew in that father-son, student-teacher relationship, but at the same time, I was really, really enamored with jazz. So I'd go to the library, I asked my dad to take me to the library, and I'd check out these CDs of Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Sonny Rollins, Kenny Kirkwood. And so I'd literally check these CDs out, and I'd go home and I'd wait for my parents to fall asleep, and I'd lay down in front of the stereo and plug these headphones in and literally listen to these jazz CDs until I fell asleep at the stereo. My parents would wake up pretty upset because I wasn't in bed. I was laying on the floor with headphones all over my face with drool. So, I had that gap of, playing classical music and wanting to be a jazz musician. So as me and my father progressed, he would say, "Son, I need you to learn these pieces and get this far in the book by month's end or the next 2 months." But I would actually finish the book in like a week. I would finish it in half the time. So he knew at that point in time that I needed to have another teacher because I definitely outgrew him. So he signed me up for a private teacher. Her name was Dorothy Louie, and that was an even poor decision on my part to agree to take piano lessons from her. She was extremely strict. She was a short little lady from Taiwan, and I was literally averaging in middle school and high school practicing 3 to 4 hours a day. Wow. And I knew that music was what I wanted to do, and I was only playing classical for lessons, but I was studying jazz on my own time. And so I had my own band in high school, my own jazz trio, and we'd gig and do the whole nine, but she decided that I needed to compete. So she put me in competitions, and that was new for me because I wasn't really aware of, how playing a piano piece in front of a person could translate into being judged and scored at the time. So I was very, very, very afraid. I didn't want to do it. And so the first competition I had definitely stands out in my memory because I was so nervous and so, just I don't know how I'm going to do this because I had to play 3 pieces from memory. And they were very, very challenging pieces, and they had to be from different periods of music. So what I did was I figured the best way to know that you know a piece of music is to be able to play it with your eyes closed. So to supplement that, what I did was, again, when my parents would go to sleep, we had a digital keyboard or piano, and I'd take headphones and plug them in, and I would actually sit in the dark and play all my pieces in the dark from memory. So that was to challenge myself, because if there's no light and I have no visual guide as to what I'm playing, the muscle memory will take control, and that's how I know that I'll know this piece no matter where I'm at, no matter who I'm playing in front of. So I would do that, and I had this issue with sweaty palms, so I'd sneak in my parents' room and steal the talcum powder. So I'd pour talcum powder on my hands to stop the sweat, and I'd hide the talcum powder under my bed. And so they'd wake up, and my mom would be getting ready for work, like, "Where's my powder, hun?" And she would know where it is, but she'd come outside and see talcum powder all over the little splotches on the floor or on the keys and things like that. So it was really innovative for me. So the competition came, and the first 2 pieces I played really, really well. I was proud of myself. I was like, okay, I did good. Whether I win or lose, I did well. I was happy with my performance. The last piece was a very hard piece. I believe it was by Rachmaninoff, and I lost my place. So in the true spirit of the art, I supplemented the loss of where I was in the music with actually improvising some jazz in between to get me where I needed to go. So I'm like, oh wow, I can't believe I did this, because this is an actual audience where I have to bow, I have to do a lot of formalities, and jazz is not a welcome art per se in this arena. So I did that. I thought it was cool. You know, I walked off the stage like that. It's pretty cool. Did that, and I believe my teacher was very much not enthused with that. She kind of gave me this look. It was like, why would you do that? And so I didn't know if I was going to win or if I was going to lose. And the judges, they did their deliberations. I was waiting to lose. I didn't really care. I was like, I'm glad it's over. So the results came in and I actually won. And I went to regionals and I won there, and then I went to the finals and I came in second place. And so throughout the years, basically my whole life was outside of school and high school and all that jazz was competing. And so I compete, I play at church, I play jazz. I picked up several other instruments. I started playing the trombone and the trumpet, and I also play the bass guitar. And my first instrument actually is the flute. And so I decided I wanted to be a professional musician, but the lifestyle didn't quite work out. So I decided to major in finance, go figure. So that's what I do full time, but music is still a huge part of my life. I had a gig. I just recorded on a Christmas album last month, and so it's the thing that I love the most, and outside of my family, of course, and it's the thing that brings me great joy, and it's what I use to share joy with others. So won't you be, please won't you be my neighbor.